Hello. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Matt Wingfield. I want to tell you briefly about the power of God and how He has been impacting my life over the past few months. Back in May of 2026, I had a panic attack at work, which resulted in me going to the emergency room and being admitted to a psychiatric hospital due to some of the words I told my coworkers and the nurse that was at work. While I was at the hospital, I was able to see what the impact of mental disorders are on society and on the person. Once I was discharged from the psychiatric hospital, I was notified by Human Resources that due to others witnessing me have my panic attack and worrying about me, that I would be placed on leave until I could be evaluated by a third-party provider. Since I work at the county jail as a supervisor, the HR captain felt that I needed to be evaluated before I could come back to work and interact with other staff and inmates. At first, I was discouraged and upset that I was unable to return back to work. But now, looking back on the incident and how I have been on leave from work, I feel that God and the Holy Spirit has been with me this entire journey and has allowed me to express my thoughts and feelings as well as show what God has done in my life. Looking back, I'm reminded that God has been with me my entire journey, even when I felt things couldn't get better or look bleak. I knew God was with me the entire time. The way I feel that God has impacted me throughout this journey is that He has allowed me to tell others about what has happened to me without fear and without being ashamed. And I am encouraged to tell others about how God has moved me in my life and how He has been walking me through this journey. There are two verses in the Bible that I feel have spoken to me and that has reminded me of God's presence. The first set of verses comes from the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verses 1 and 2. But now thus saith the Lord, who created you, O Jacob, and He who formed you, O Israel. Quote, Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, nor shall the flame scorch you. The second set of verses comes from the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 12, verses 9 and 10, which reads, And He says to me, referring to the Lord, My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, most gladly I will rather boast in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, its needs, and in stresses for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. This clock is a reminder to me that God, Christ, and the Holy Spirit is timeless, and because of the hour of Christ's return is unknown, on us, that we are commanded and able to share the gospel and the power of God, Christ, and the Holy Spirit. Even when things look bleak or hopeless, by looking to God, He will provide the strength to get us through. While we may not know the reasons why we are going through difficult times, it is for His glory that because of those difficult times and relying on God, we can share this message of His grace with others. This clock is also a demonstration of how God and Christ is to be the focus of our lives. Without God, and this key represents Christ, demonstrates how much Christ is to be a key part in our lives. Once we let Christ enter in our lives, we can rest assured that He will return, and because through faith and believe in Him, we are commanded to spread the good news of Christ until He returns. Like how this clock is running and how long it will run, I do not know. And by having the power of Christ in our lives, the hour of His return is also unknown. And we are to live our lives as He has commanded until He returns. Thank you for allowing me to share my testimony, and I encourage you to be bold to others and share what God and Christ has done in your life. Peace be with you all. Thank you.